The Sturt under-18 boys visited Alberton while their older brothers were over at Unley starting the season in style. A win for the under-18s would make it 2-1 to Sturt, with the reserves already beaten by the Magpies earlier in the day. Coach Michael Borden needn't have worried because right from the very start this was a golden performance from the Double Blues. It was a magnificent demonstration of real teamwork. The boys gelled well and executed Coach Borden's game plan like they'd been doing it for months, whereas in reality this was effectively round one for Sturt. And even though the Blues had to cobble together a makeshift forward line, the boys charged with the responsibilities up front performed their tasks with ease, with Jared Lynott loving the opportunity to kick 5 goals, and first gamer Henry Voigt, who's been cracking balls over mid-wicket all summer, bagging 6 goals to give Sturt an easy win at Alberton. Of course, these boys wouldn't usually get the chance to play up front. Co-captain Jake Atkinson should have been playing at centre-half forward, but he had his sister's wedding to attend to. Priorities, Jake. Well, good luck in any case to Rebecca and Aidan. Henry Voigt not only showed his class up front, but he demonstrated versatility when he moved into the ruck for the final quarter. Talk about an all-rounder. The first gamers were many for Sturt: Seb Weech from Scotch College, Jacob Leake from Harndorf, Brendan Hone from Mount Lofty Football Club, Josh Bilder from Prince Alfred College, and Jaden Pengilly, who moved up from the under-16s, all starred on Saturday. But it was Dwayne Wilson who celebrated the loudest. His move to the forward line in the final term reaped instant rewards, with 3 of his 4 goals coming late in the game. That's 2 losses from 2 starts for the reigning under-18 premiers. Once again, under-16 Jake Johansson was at his best, kicking 4 goals from 18 disposals, while Sean Davidson led a Magpie third quarter revival with 21 kicks and 5 handballs. But coach Julian Farkas has got it all to do in 2012. Porter's in unfamiliar territory in the bottom half of the table after 2 matches. At Alberton Oval, it was Sturt by 76 points. Starting the 2012 season with a bye, David Oatey's Norwood squad entered this match with 55 eligible players on the list. It's just as well because about half of them will disappear to college football in a couple of weeks, but the strength and depth of the squad was evident on Saturday when the Redlegs demolished the Bulldogs in a good demonstration of teamwork and commitment around the ball. The Dogs were still in the contest at quarter time, but the Redlegs left no doubt who was in charge of this fixture when they came out and kicked 11 goals 5 to just 1 point in the second quarter. 5 of Norwood's 25 goals came from first gamer Orozio Fantasia from the Payne Norwood Union Football Club. And no, he's not related to James Fantasia, but he's showing equal talent early on in the season. Orozio is a medium forward and he loves the ball, his 21 disposals bagging him 5 goals on his debut at this level. Certainly a good way to make a lasting first impression. But not to be outdone, tall man Nick Dinham, coming in at just under 2 metres, bagged 6 goals from just 11 kicks. No sense in wasting kicks when they could be goals. Stephen Baldasso played a couple of trial games with the reserves in the pre-season, but then got booted out by AFL-listed players. It was the reserves' loss in the under-18s game because Steve was outstanding on Saturday. From the Athelston Football Club, Steve peeled open the Dogs' defence with 32 high-quality disposals and even a goal for his troubles. And Fred Batel from the Golden Grove Football Club was also in brilliant form, with no less than 37 disposals in a very one-sided performance at the parade. For the Dogs, Brad Hunt did his best to bring about some respectability to the scoreline, but even his team-high 25 disposals wasn't nearly enough to lift the Dogs' hopes. There's plenty of time for Centrals to put the wheels back on, but after their first game for 2012, the cart is looking a little worse for wear. Norwood easy winners in this one by 122 points at the parade. For the Panthers, this was an opportunity to make amends for an absolute shocker in round 1. They went down by 135 points to the Bloods last week. Surely things couldn't get any worse down south. Well, yeah, they could. With no goals in the first quarter, this match was over early. But credit where credit's due, Heath Uni's team was excellent. It's all about player development at North, and Heath is developing them quite nicely. This side boasts some easily recognisable names, and a number of them are likely to make state selection later on in the year. None more so than Michael McMahon from the Jeps Cross Football Club. Michael took out the leading goal kicker competition in 2011 with 69 goals to his name. He started off 2012 pretty well too, second only to another M&M, West's Mason Middleton. Michael's 6 goals in round 2 are certain to raise Brenton Phillips' interest come state selection time. And Alex Spina will also be hoping for a state spot, a member of the State Academy squad. Alex added 5 to North's total at Noarlunga. Also in the thick of the action was another household name, Henry Trenorden. And yes, Henry is related. The Trenorden name is well respected at Prospect. Henry's father Ray played a big part in North's 1960 premiership against Norwood. In his first game for North on Saturday, Henry held up the Trenorden name with a solid 16 possessions. And the historians would have been diving for the record books when Patrick Bowles took to the field for the Roosters. After a long struggle, the Roosters finally managed to drag Pat down from Port Augusta. Patrick's dad, Jamie, played a half a dozen games for North under Michael Noonan in 1985. But even after kicking 6 goals in one match, Jamie wouldn't move from the North, and that was that. Let's hope Pat sticks around for a bit longer. For South, Matthew Spenceley was on target when given the opportunity, but those opportunities were few and far between, with South going down by 1 more point than last week. This week the margin was 136 points to North Adelaide. Perhaps the West Adelaide boys were getting a little ahead of themselves after a crushing win over the Panthers to open up the season and a batch of good performances in the pre-season trial games. This match was there for the taking, and the Bloods let it go. But in fairness to Adam Blakely's Tigers, they could have and should have had it all sewn up inside of 10 minutes. It's goal-kicking practice for the Bays this week after they kicked 3 goals, 8 behinds in the first quarter. Ouch. Both sides have lofty ambitions this year, but both sides will be affected by the dreaded college football exodus coming soon. Westies will fare the best with only 3 players, all from Sacred Heart, who will be leaving. That's an improvement from last year when they lost 10 to the college system. Glenelg relied on Billy Laurie on Sunday, his 22 disposals and 1 goal, just what the coach ordered. Billy is in his 2nd season in the under-18s and was Glenelg's best on ground. Scoring goals for Glenelg was Jordan Newton. Jordan was part of Glenelg's under-18 grand final team last year. That team went down to Port Adelaide. Jordan will be hoping for a better result this year. His 2 goals in this match were a good start. One of Westie's college players was Sacred Heart's Jack Evans. Jack's 8 clearances at the weekend are exactly why he's in the team. And Mason Middleton from Barmera put himself up at the top of the goal kickers ladder with another 4 goals this week to add to his bag of 5 last week. The State Academy player loves scoring goals, and Westies will take every one of them. On the first day of April, there were no fools at this game. In the first close game of the year, it was Glenelg finishing the better, running out winners by 10 points over West.